Imagine becoming one of the richest people on earth without owning factories, without owning hotels, without owning taxis, and without building a single product. Sounds impossible. Yet today, some of the world's biggest companies became billion-dollar empires by owning almost nothing. This isn't luck. It's one of the greatest business strategies ever invented. Most people believe wealth comes from owning things. Rich people know something different. The biggest fortunes are often built by controlling the connection between buyers and sellers. That tiny difference changes everything. But where did this idea begin? Long before smartphones, long before the internet, merchants discovered that controlling trade could be more profitable than making the products themselves. The marketplace was becoming more valuable than the merchandise. Centuries later, technology transformed this ancient idea into something much bigger. Instead of owning products, companies began owning platforms, and platforms changed the rules of business forever. Think about Airbnb, millions of guests, millions of homes, but the company owns almost none of them. Every booking sends a small percentage back to the platform. Tiny fees. Repeated millions of times. Uber followed the same playbook. Drivers own the cars. Passengers pay for the rides. Uber simply owns the system connecting both sides. Every ride creates another stream of cash. Here's something most people never notice. The more users joined, the stronger these businesses became. Economists call this a network effect. Every new customer makes the platform more valuable for everyone else. You're enjoying this breakdown. Subscribe for more Business POV documentaries. And tell me in the comments, would you rather own a product or own the platform that sells every product? Now, let's uncover how billions actually flowed through these companies. Every time someone booked a room, ordered a ride, or bought something online, money didn't just move between two people. A small percentage quietly flowed to the platform. One transaction means little. Millions create an empire. This is called a commission-based business model. Instead of making money once, the platform earns again and again and again without manufacturing anything itself. Then came the real advantage. Growth became cheaper. A hotel must build another building. A platform simply adds another user. That difference made investors pay billions. Wall Street wasn't buying buildings. It was buying future cash flow. Every new customer meant years of possible income. That's why these companies were valued so highly. But success attracted competition. Soon, everyone wanted to build the next Uber, the next Airbnb, the next Amazon. Most failed because platforms become stronger only when people choose one winner. Then regulators arrived. Governments questioned monopolies. Some cities restricted ride-sharing. Others challenged short-term rentals. Even billion-dollar businesses couldn't escape politics. The biggest risk wasn't technology. It was trust. If buyers stopped believing or sellers left, the entire system could collapse overnight. Platforms survive only when both sides keep winning. That's why successful platforms obsess over customer experience, fast service, reliable payments, good reviews. Every 5-star rating becomes another investment in future profits. Today, this strategy powers some of the world's richest companies. They don't just sell products, they own ecosystems. And ecosystems are incredibly difficult to replace. Investors understand something many people miss. Assets can lose value, but strong networks often become more valuable as more people join. That's the hidden engine behind modern wealth. The greatest business empires didn't always own the most things. They controlled the most valuable connections. And in business, connections often become more valuable than possessions. Here's the lesson. Don't just ask, what should I own? Ask, what system creates value every time someone else succeeds? Because sometimes the richest person in the room owns almost nothing, yet controls everything. If this business POV changed the way you think about wealth, subscribe for more business documentaries and comment, would you rather own the product or own the platform?